Hey everybody, welcome back to another action figure review on the Spider-Man 3 movie line. These are also 5-inch figures. We have the Master of Illusion Mysterio, Vulture, and the Lizard. These are all based on their video game appearance, and I will get into a story about the Lizard in just a little bit. But first off, we're going to start off with Mysterio. Now, Mysterio is pretty cool. I love the video game. When I was a kid, I never actually owned the game myself, but my cousin did have it, and I enjoyed playing the game. Mysterio has I would say, a good bit of articulation. It's not the greatest, but at least it gets the job done. His arms will rotate up and down. They can't go through the 360 due to the rubber piece of his cloak, and he can move it out that far. A single joint at the elbow. It does swivel at the elbow as well. His dome, or I should say his head, can spin all the way around 360. It does get stuck at some point, so just be careful if you do have it. Underneath the cape, he does have textures underneath that look like the electro-proof Spidey. He has a type of pegged leg. It is in there, but I wouldn't say, I don't know, is it on? Oh yeah, it is kind of on a ball joint. So it will spin 360 degrees. And there is a double jointed knee that does blend in with the sculpt of the figure. And it does look nice when he's bending it. You can tell it does look humanly. It doesn't look super terrible. But no ankle pivot or ankle hinge or ankle swivel. But all in all, he's not a bad figure. He's a good one to have. He is hard to get. I got this guy at least for like 20 bucks at the time. So I did get a good deal on him. So let's move on. Next up, I will do Lizard. Lizard is based off of his video game appearance, and his play feature is that he has a whipping tail. Let me flip him over here. That's all he does. He flicks his tail and he attacks Spider-Man. So a lot of them on eBay, if you're looking for them, make sure you get them with the jacket on, his lab coat, because there's a lot of them that don't have it, and as you can see, on the inside it won't match what he looks like. But they added like a little bit of wash. This is kind of like a pliable, like rubber. I think there's a little bit mixture of plastic in it, but it's not a lot. But as you can see, they added like a brown wash to him on the coat and the shirt to show how dirty he was being in the sewers. He has a waist swivel right there. He does not have an ab crunch. He does not have any head movement, except for his jaw, which is pretty cool. And at a certain angle, he can be looking at you and also have that talking feature. And he does look kind of cool when you put it all the way down, even though it's not supposed to go that far. It does. So he has, like Mysterio and like every other Spider-Man 3 figure mostly, he has a single jointed elbow, swivel at the elbow, and a swivel at the wrist, and also rubber like fingers. This does work too when you're trying to grab Spider-Man. You can move every finger a little bit so you can help get it around his neck. He has a single jointed knee, and he's very difficult to stand. He will not, sometimes he will, sometimes he won't, but most of the time he will not stand up by himself, as you can tell. He's like back heavy. But his tail is sort of articulated if you don't push this part of the tail right here. This part you could flick even a little bit, like wiggle it around a little bit. So, all in all, this guy's also cool. And he looks very awesome. And I really wish Kirk Connors would have been in for Spider-Man 4 if they did make that. But we got the Amazing Spider-Man, so yeah, I know, listen. Let's move on to Vulture. He is the last one on our video today. Now, this guy is the rarest. This guy is the rarest out of the three. I should say out of the whole series. He's the one that everyone's trying to grab. His wings about across. Let me get a ruler here. So from each wing, let me put this down a minute so I can get this. So I just measured it across from each wing, from this side to the right side, or left to right, whichever way you prefer to go. It's almost about 11.5 inches long, and his arms are on a single joint, of course, and they do swivel at the elbow, but it breaks up the wings. So you gotta kind of keep him like this. If you have a Spider-Man traveling from the Toy Biz line, the store and play case, he's not gonna fit in here. He can, but you gotta fold his arms down and all that shebang. But he also has, I think he does have that, I believe. Yeah, on this one he does have a ab crunch, and it does swivel at the waist, which is actually was unexpected when I first got him, because I didn't think he did have it. His legs will kick out pretty far, even for an old man. They kick out that far on both legs, and again, they use the double jointed knee, which also is hidden inside the leg, which this actually, I feel like with this sculpt, it kind of did work a lot, and it did look a lot more humane. He does not have, like the other ones though, he does not have a ankle swivel, pivot, or hinge. He does not have any of those. His head is on a ball joint, and it is removable, because I know there is some figures from the line that do not have their heads come off. Because I remember my friend, he had the Toxic Blast Scorpion, which I had reviewed, and he tried popping the head off like that, and it would give way for him. But even popping it off, you can tell it's on a ball joint. If I can get it to focus, you can tell it's not a super terrible head sculpt. It does look like Adrian Toomes. It does not. I wouldn't say it doesn't look anything like him. It does look like him though. If this would get to focus. But I honestly, he's not a bad figure. So I got him, I think, for $26. I think. I'm pretty sure I did. But he isn't too bad. He does not have his little vulture companion, but I honestly don't feel like he needs it. So that was all three of these guys, and I will be putting out more soon, so stay tuned.